Welcome back to part two with me, Jeff Ollerhead, and aka Eddie Williams. Now, Eddie, talked about how you doing, Eddie? Forgot about you there.
Good.
Great stuff. So, moving on then, you left school. Did you leave school at 16, or 18?
No. I got through out of school. I got to a stage he couldn't handle me, and he just excluded me. I was about 14. That was it, he threw me out. And my dad's mate, Ian Johnson, he gave me a job. He was a fencer. So I went fencing with Ian, I was digging holes and fence posts, and he was doing a job at a school teacher's house, and he was panicking because he was a school teacher. You're only 14. But I drove the van to the job,
Yeah.
I was only 14, but anyway, he made me wear this big coat with a hood. I had to wear it all day, and it was the middle of summer. Because the school teacher, he thought he was going to get in trouble. Child labour and all this.
Child labour.
He paid me well.
Fair enough. So from the fencing, you got into your dad's a trucker as well as he.
Yeah, well, after the fencing, I only worked with him for about a year. I got a job with Dave Colligan. He's dead now, Dave. He was great, cracking fella. Taught me a lot, and we went everywhere working. We were tarmacking, curbing, ebbing. But we ended up in Germany, and he asked me to want to go to Germany working with me and Sid Jones, and we went, and that was what an eye opener. I used to love all these and pet.
16 off Germany, yeah.
And when we got to Germany, because I'd always been with my dad in the wagons and that, and I could drive and everything, Dave and Sid, they'd be like, "Yeah, you drive." And it was Sid's car. He had a Sierra. It was an L Sierra. And we got on the autobahns and I was flying. And Sid saying, "Me car, what's the speed you're doing, 90 mile an hour?" I said, "You can go 100 mile an hour on these." Anyway, we get to the job and all that. And, it was great. I loved it. It was like all the design pets. It was brilliant. But I was in these nightclubs and everything in Germany with them. And it was just mad. It was mad. But we got this fella who was like an agent. And we were doing block paving. And it was massive. But he couldn't speak a word of English, and no one liked him. He's a horrible fella, horrible little fella.
Was he German, yeah?
Yeah, but he couldn't speak English. And
yeah.
I said to him, "Lads, can he speak English?" And he said, "No, he can't speak a word of English."
Back in douche.
So we come up, we were shouting at Dave. And Dave was an angry little fella. So I took her, I said, "Hang on, Dave, hang on." So he walks over and he did pointing, so I'm saying to him, "Mate," I said, so points at the thing, I said, "I bet you have sex with Alsatians." Dave and Sid fell apart, they had to walk away. But I kept it up, I kept it up, and I was insulting him about everything.
You didn't say anything to him.
And he kept nodding at me and smiling and giving me the thumbs up. And I said to him, "Don't forget, we won the war." And he went. And Dave said to me, "I couldn't have got any better." He said he'd give you the thumbs up. Well, it was great. I love Germany.
Do you know Germany? It was saying about how clean it is in Germany.
Oh, spotless. Well, we were doing this block paving. It was going to be a shopping thing, but it was like all woodland and all this. And people were walking the dogs, and this fella used to walk his dog every day. And it was an Alsatian. It was massive, and its name was Bronco. And eventually, when I got married and we got dogs ourselves, and I've always had a Rottweiler and an Alsatian, German Shepherd. And I called me first German Shepherd Bronco because of this fella. I used to sit and I used to shout the dog Bronco, but it'd look at me. It must have been the accent. He used to go Bronco. I'd go Bronco, and he'd used to look at it. Bronco. But it come to me. It was a lovely dog. But I loved Germany. It was spotless, immaculate. But I got offered a job in Germany. I've been offered jobs all over the world, but Sue wouldn't move. No. I could have worked all over the world.
Just the thing about Germany itself, I went to Germany and I always pride myself that they're always, you couldn't drop a wrapper on the pavements.
It's spotless. It's the thing with the Germans. I mean, I've done European driving and all that.
Okay.
And when you go to Germany in a truck, it's got to be right. Or that's it, finished. If it's not right, it's not happening. You still have to go, because say you go in one part of Germany to the other, they measure your diesel. Because especially when the fuel strikes are on and all that, the fuel was for the Germans, and they put a measure in, them rulers look like that.
Yeah, like a dipstick sort of thing, yeah.
They bring it out, they do sums. You have not enough fuel, you will not go. That's it. Because you ain't buying our fuel, because that's for us.
So you
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Respect to the Germans. So moving on quickly, give us the time when you're doing so well. I mean, and then you ended up in trouble, didn't you, with
I had my own trucks and that. And ever since I was that big, all I've ever wanted to do is drive a truck. I used to go everywhere with my dad. I used to hide his boots and everything. And trucks are my life. Believe it or not, I'm not like one of these weirdos who, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I love trucks. Couldn't give a shit about motorbikes. Couldn't give a shit about cars, vans, anything. If a good-looking truck comes flying past like that, I will look at it. How you'd look at a woman in the street in the summer. I go like that. I go. Oof. I love trucks. I always have.
What's the Porsche trucks or the Lamborghini you're thinking of?
It's got me a V8 or a Volvo FH16.
Oh,
They're the top of the range. But I had Scania V8s now. I've had all the good trucks and everything, but I just love trucks. My happy place has been in my truck. And I say to my kids now, I've got 5 kids, I say, do something that you love and you'll never work a day in your life. Because it's not going to work for me. I enjoy going to work. I can't wait to go to work. I'm away all the time. People say, how's Sue put up with Dan and all that? I said, well, I was doing it when we got married and all that. My mum always said to me, you marry him, you marry his job. And she has. And I've never been out of work. But I ended up buying my own trucks and I thought, why am I working for someone else? Anyway, bought my own and all that and done well. But the fuel thing, when the fuel went through the roof and all that, I was thinking, But I ended up in trouble with the Inland Revenue and Taxman and all kinds. But they were trying to threaten me and all that.
I think you get taxed too much on stuff.
Yeah, too right, you do, yeah. Well, that's all it is. Why not bring back the Sheriff of Nottingham? Do you know what I mean? For everywhere, the Sheriff of Morton. Let him go around on a Sunday knocking on the door. How much water have you used this week? How much? Tell you what, you've got such and such in the back, right? We're taxing you this, that, and because that's how it's going. That's all they want, more and more off you all the time. And that's what I was thinking. I thought, these want more and more off me here. Just because I'm getting cheap diesel abroad and all that, I'm trying to say, oh, this, that, and the other. I said, nah, it's not happening. So eventually he said, I'll ruin you. I said, keep ruining me. And I thought, no. So I sold everything, and then he sent the bailiffs round and all that. But there was nothing in the house.
Wow.
As I said, help yourself.
This is the thing with society today, because you work like, I mean, what's illegal? You got to go over 8 hours. You can drive over 8 hours.
You can do you can drive 10 hours a day for 2 days a week. The rest is 9. You got to have 11 hours off, or 9. You can split have 9 hours off 3 days a week. But you can't do any more than 90 hours in a fortnight. But it's all technical.
You're the worst drivers, when you go around Europe, you think, like, for instance, what roads do you think of?
To be honest with you, I'm very, if you see me driving a truck, I know what they're going to do before they do it. You become, I'm very relaxed in a truck.
You ever get no road rage?
Now and then.
What's your worst road rage instance?
I dragged the fella out of the car, put his window in and dragged him out the car.
What happened?
He cut me up on the motorway. I thought nothing of it, but then he started to brake. Now bearing in mind, the whole wagon is 44 tonne, but I'm pulling the tanker, so the tanker moves.
Oof.
So as you hit the brakes,
risk, isn't it?
Yeah, as you hit the brakes, that tanker will lock up. A normal wagon will stop there, yeah. A tanker will stop, but as it goes back, it'll come back again and it'll throw you again. But this is all a split second. This will throw you rather. So see me ass. So I'm flashing the lights and all that. Next thing, roadworks. They couldn't have come any at a better moment. There you go. Yeah. So I won't wear my shoes in the wagon. Okay. Mine's all leather floor and it's like a palace. So the roadworks come and he got out of his car and I thought, wrong move, mate. So as he gets to the thing, he starts ramming the name and he punched me wagon. I went, door open. Usually I put my shoes on because I'm on the step. Didn't even put my shoes on, didn't even touch the steps, I was down. And as I hit the deck, he sort of looked at me and ran. So I got to the car and I went, "Someone, hey, you!" And he wouldn't look at me, he was like that. And he had a lad in the passenger seat, he was like that, and he wouldn't look at me. And the lad went, "After you." And I just went, bang, hit him in there, and the whole window shattered. And I thought, I'm one of them people, once it started, you might as well carry on. You know, don't just leave it dancing, I'm sorry about that. I thought, I might as well make this look. I got him like that, I dragged him out. But as I dragged him out, he started screaming like a pig, and I said, "Get out of here." But he sort of got stuck, and I'm hitting him like that.
On the motorway.
So next thing there's people about, "What's going on, what's going on?" I said, "Get in your car, get in your car." So I walked back to the wagon, and walked back to the wagon, and thinking, what have I done? What have I done? So gets in the wagon, and everyone's looking at him, and this woman come down, proper busy, you know, "Do you realise he's bleeding?" I said, "Fuck off." So all the traffic had moved, and he's all busy with this fuck. Thought, I'm out of here. And I flew off, and I never heard nothing about it, and I thought, got away with that one, because you can get jailed for that, like.
Christ, you can.
You can get jailed.
But, you know, on the other side, you could have been dead. What he was
Yeah,
doing.
well, he'd have been dead, I would have been alright. I'd have killed him, but, you know, no one thinks of this. The lorries either get to blame all the time, but no one thinks of this, you know, the way they are.
There you go. Don't blame the lorries. Stand by for part 3 with Eddie Williams. Take care.